Applebee's has like $2 number mamas.
I never go there. It's literally just random.
You're welcome, bro. Nico, why don't you set up your table really quick? And then I'll announce you in a minute. Yeah. Yeah, I'll follow you. 100%. Well, hello everybody. Hello. Awesome, weak sauce. Okay, let's try that again. Hi everybody. Hello. That's better. We're gonna need that kind of energy. Thank you guys for being here. My name is Brian Sweeney. I'm the instructor here at Doing Acting Studio, or one of them. We're excited to have you. This is our showcase for our dramatic monologue section. So all these guys have started on monologues either this month or past 3 months, and so we're going to be showcasing those to you tonight. So each performer is going to come up, they're going to get set, they're going to get their film stuff zoned in, and then we'll give them a big round of applause when I announce their name and the monologue that they're doing. So thank you guys so much for being here to support your friends. I know they appreciate it. We're all really excited to have you and show you just the work we've been doing. So thank you, and let's get started. Come on out, Nico. I'll get you in frame. Okay, our first performer is Nico performing a monologue, Scarface.
What are you looking at? You're a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? Because y'all don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, does that make you good? You're not good. You just know how to hide, how to lie. Me? I don't have that problem. Me? I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So say goodnight to the bad guy. Come on! This is going to be the last time you ever see a bad guy like this. You know? Make way for the bad guy. There's a bad guy coming through. Make way for the backup!
And see. Come on out, Olivia. We'll get you framed up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead and set that up. Let's get that going. This is Olivia performing the monologue, Jeff. Let's give her an applause.
I want to let you into the things I'm feeling. And I know you will be responsive. Exactly the way I need you to be, but it's wrong. It feels wrong. Even though what you do and say seem correct, it's off. You are off. We are off. For a while, I lived inside this fantasy with you, thinking it was real, imagining everything was as it should be, and to think I've even forgotten the real you. And I'm sick about that. It suddenly dawned on me how wrong all of this is. No matter how perfect you are, no matter how great you try and make me feel, it's all false. This whole existence is fake. I'm all twisted up inside with how I feel about you. Because when I look at you, you are him. You sound just like him. You feel just like he did. But it's programmed. You are a program. And I can see it. I can see the ones and the zeros to the program, and it's broken for me. Everything in it, it's shattered. Because there's a heightened truth to things. There's a higher realm that penetrates the lie. He did things. He used to do randomly crazy things that made me laugh. Outlandish things that you can't invent spontaneously unless you are a real, living, breathing human being. He was one of a kind. And I was so madly in love with him that I can't ever be happy with his shadow. You aren't Jeff. Jeff is dead. I need to end this immediately. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I have to shut you down. Scene.
Woo! Come on out to get framed really quick. And when you come in, Danielle, shut the door, would you?
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm going to give you a second to zone in. Next up, we've got Daniel performing Quiet in the Land. Let's get a round of applause.
Pa, I have to talk to you. I have to. Open the door. Open it! I've been halfway around the world and I've come back and I gotta tell you something and you're going to listen. You never listened to me a day in your life, did you? Listen now, I killed a man. You hear me, Pa? I said I killed a man. They tell me I killed more, but there was just one I ever saw. We were going up this hill and he came at me, so I stuck out my bayonet like it was my arm and I got him in the gut. He was lying in the mud, screaming and bleeding. Everyone else kept going on, but I just stood there shaking. He was afraid, Pa. He was afraid of facing God. He started screaming for a preacher. I wanted to tell him that I understood, that I was Christian, that I was German too. I wanted to say all those words that you used to read from the Bible, but I was ashamed, Pa. So I let him die like that in the mud. That was the war, Pa. That's what it was. You know, I thought I was gonna go off and save you all from something. Bet he did too. I thought the King of England was gonna be there just like in the school books cheering me on. Somehow, I even thought I was gonna put the legs back on Patty O'Rourke. But all I ever did was put a knife into a man. And Pa, he looked like Zepp. If he had a beard, he could have been Zepp. And right at the end, he cried out for his father to come take him home. And then I started crying out for you. I wanted you to come over that hill and take me home because I knew if I just would have stayed home. Well, I guess that's what I wanted to tell you, Pa, if I just would have stayed. Well, I'm going away now, Pa. You don't have to worry. I'll keep out of your way. See you.
Come on out and get in frame really quick. Okay, next up, we've got AJ performing Cherry Blossom.
No. Through with what? You think we were just having fun in the sun, don't you? I thought we were falling in love. Isn't that what you told me, Marshall? Didn't you talk sweetly to me underneath the stars and open your heart up to me? Whispering sweet nothings in my ear. How much you love me. How I'm your one and only cherry blossom. Romanticizing about how you want to spend the rest of your life with me. One day start a family. Buy a big old house and live happily ever after, baking pies and home-cooked dinners. You'd come home after a long day's work and I'd already have our son in bed asleep. And we would make love until we passed out from bliss, only to rinse and repeat the same day again the following morning. Boy, you fucking had me fooled. I believed all your lies. The way you pulled away from me was like being skinned alive. Not once taking my feelings into account. Not giving me more than a second's notice and expecting me to fly in whichever direction you wished for me to fly in. I am a free bird, Marshall. I always have been and I always will be, and ain't no self-centered fool like you is gonna tell me how to live my life. You can pull away from me, but you will never kill what's inside of me, ever! Scene.
Hey, JD.
Once I get you framed up, JD, I'm going to give you a little time to really connect in to what we did the other week, okay?
Sure.
So even after the applause, you don't have to go right away.
Okay.
This is JD performing the Mirowitz Stories. Let's get a big round of applause.
We want to thank Bard for making the show happen. And thank many of you for making this trip. My dad, and I'm sure every artist involved in this show, would be really pleased. My father was a teacher here for 33 years, so this is particularly special for him. And this piece is special for me as it's called Matthew. My father tells a story how this piece came to be, how I would sit on the hardwood floor of his studio, getting nails in my ass and hand-me tools and make suggestions, and he would let me help or let me think I was helping. And when it was done, he said that we had made it together. Even though I don't remember this time, he does. But I do remember the feeling of being very proud, of wanting to be an artist like my dad, of being included. He was interested in me. He loved me. I'm sorry. I don't know why I've been angry at him for so much of my adult life. I guess I was trying to outrun him, but I didn't. I'm still that boy, trying to help my dad, and he loved me. Even if it wasn't how I wanted him to love me, he loved me. And I've given away his life's work. It's gone. I'm sorry if Dad doesn't make it, he and I aren't okay. We never got to be okay. See?
It's a great shot of Jenna, right? Yeah, it's good. It wasn't a great shot. That was the joke. Thank you. Yes. You're moving, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, great. This is Daniel performing a monologue, Wall Street. Let's give him a big round of applause, people.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are not here to indulge in fantasy, but political and economic reality. America has become a second-rate power. Its trade deficit and its fiscal deficit are at nightmare proportions. Now, in the days of the free market, when our country was a top industrial power, there was accountability to the stockholder, the Carnegies, the Mellons. The men that built this great industrial empire made sure of it, because it was their money at stake. Today, management has no stake in the company. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, is that greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works. Greed clarifies, it cuts through, and it captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit. Greed in all of its forms. Greed for life, for money, for love. Knowledge has marked the upward surge of mankind. And greed, you mark my words, will not only save Teldar paper, but that other malfunctioning corporation called the USA. See?
Did you bring friends, Daniel?
Of course.
Next up, we've got Marissa performing Inner Self. Let's give a big round of applause.
Sometimes I stare inside of myself and try and figure out how I can kill my inner core. Start fresh, anew, mop myself clean, and start over again. Keep the same outer shell, but with new inner meaning and purpose. Sort of like an upgrade to an old program that doesn't function as well as it should because it's outdated. I desperately need to upgrade my system, but there's no way for me to clean out my inner core. It will always remain the remnants of my past, wires that have rusted and gone awry. It will always stay in place. You can never disconnect from your past self. We may try and act like we do, but deep down we always carry the same software. Scene.
You did it.
Turn it off.
I like when I don't have to say it. It's always better. Okay. All right. Do you need the tablecloths for your... No? Okay. All right. Next up, we've got Jared performing a monologue from How I Met Your Mother. Let's give a round of applause.
Robin, wait. Are you really this upset about a book? I can't lie to you. Really? Well, that's just great. Because in case you haven't noticed these last 8 years, lying is what I do best. I'm a magician, Robin. Misdirection and deceit are my stock in trade. You don't want me to lie to you? Lies are the reason that we're together. Everything I did to get you to say yes to me on that rooftop, Patrice, the false engagement, everything, it was all just utter malarkey. But underneath all those lies is one true thing. One true thing that can uphold the weight of all the lies in the world, and that's the fact that I love you. And you know, when I say that, I'm not lying. Scene.
Our final monologue is self-written by Jenna Del Pozo. Let's get a big round of applause.
There's nothing more terrifying than walking up to a hospital door when a loved one is inside it. I'll never forget finally reaching that hallway and my hearing drifting off into a piercing silence. My heart raced finding his room number, knowing I was going to have to brace myself for what was on the other side of that door. I was 12 years old the summer we found out my papa had cancer. Hospitals terrified me, to say the least, but in an attempt to face up to reality, I reluctantly followed my father into Nassau Hospital, not knowing if the presence of my papa there would cause an absolute breakdown or a calming sense that all would be okay. To preface this, I'd like to say that this man was my favorite person in the entire world. Always smiling, always making jokes, and brightening up every room. He brought the magic to my childhood. Seeing him ill was not something that I believed I was cut out to see. Visiting him that day in the hospital was a complete mix of emotions. He was so excited to see me. His eyes were as warm as before, and his smile was as big as ever. He might have looked a little different, but he was definitely still Papa to me. I was always told that I could be whatever I wanted to be and do whatever I wanted to do, so with that knowledge, I truly believed that I could heal him. I sat by his side and held his hands and sent all my good energy his way. But then he ripped his hand away, and it was at that moment that I knew I was losing him. Shortly after, he passed away, and the heartbreak that followed was immeasurable. But if there's one thing I'll always know for certain, it's that he would have wanted to save the good for me, so that I could continue growing up with that magic that he taught me. And every day, for the rest of my life, I'll hold that close. See?
Okay. All right, thank you all for coming to the showcase. I'd like to share some things with you about what we have at the studio, what we do, and then if the guests want to just hang out in the lobby for a few, if you wanted to see the person afterwards, I'm just going to do a quick wrap up with the students, and then you're welcome to hang out with them, go do whatever. So first off, thank you all again for being here. For these guys, that means a lot. Support is essential, and we've talked a lot about this, but well, the way I put it is, if people don't like what you do in your life and they don't support your dreams, get them the hell out. So thank you guys for being here and supporting people. Like seriously, it means a lot. And so yeah, so we do classes here. It's not just for actors. A lot of these guys will tell you. JD's one of them that had nothing to do with acting, just wanted to come in and just strengthen his skills in business. And so what we're all about here is personal development. And so if you're interested in that, come let us know. We have this script class. We also have an improv class here at the studio that's on Wednesday nights and Thursday nights. Matt, Joey, and I also run a nonprofit theater that operates out of here. It's called Lighthouse Theater. We're a Christian theater with a mission to be a light in the community and just spread the light of Christ everywhere. So that's our theater, our nonprofit theater. And we do improv shows here once a month on Saturdays. So we'd love to see you guys here for that as well. So thank you again for supporting. Let's give these guys one more big round of applause. Thank you. If you guys want to hang out in the lobby, I'm just going to talk to the students real quick, and I'll